All right. Good morning. We're going to get started. I am Mr. Thibodeau, in case you didn't know. So I am one of the orchestra directors here at Churchill High School. Mr. Norton, maybe you'll find him. Go ahead and talk, Mr. Norton. That way it'll pop up.
Hey guys, how you doing? Mr. Norton right here.
All right, there you go. So we're going to walk you through our agenda for today. So the first thing we're going to do is share the attendance link. It'll be in the Snapchat, not in the Snapchat. It will be in the chat on your computer. So you go down to the bottom where it says chat, you open it up, and then Mr. Norton will write the word attendance, and then he will post a link. There you go. So you just click on that link. It'll open up a Google form. You fill it out. Yes, it shouldn't be too hard. You take a couple minutes, and we're going to do this right now. Now, let's say something happens tomorrow, and you can't, or sorry, I'll get used to it. Something happens on Wednesday, and you miss your 11 o'clock class, and you have to do the class sometime later on at night. You still need to do the attendance, and I'll show you where you can find that. But for now, since you were great and you woke up early this morning for an 11 o'clock class, then you can fill out the form. Oh, look at that, Mr. Norton. We got 20, so we're only missing maybe 2 kids, 3 kids. That's excellent. So good to see you guys. Have I given you enough time, or should I wait a little longer? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're good? You filled out the form. We got a couple thumbs up. Okay, we'll wait just a little bit longer. Yeah, and it'll be there. I mean, once it's in the chat, it'll be there the whole time. The next thing we're going to talk about, you're going to be bombarded with this probably for who knows how long, but we're going to share with you the Zoom etiquette. This is the kind of what we're expecting from you while we're meeting online. Mr. Norton, if you'll share that screen with us.
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right. So the first thing is how you display your name. For all of your classes, it's going to need to be first and last name. No nicknames just yet. But for orchestra class, I'm going to need you to include your instrument. So you see mine says Jason Thibodeau and a little dash, and then it says viola. Eventually, when we go to sectionals, you'll have to go into these breakout rooms. And it just makes it faster for me to create the breakout rooms if I have your instrument listed, if your name. So while I'm talking, if you guys can go ahead and make those adjustments on your screen names now, I would appreciate it. Oh, sorry, I was going to scroll up. Mr. Norton, if you could scroll up for us. To be counted present for orchestra class, your screens and your videos must be turned on. And for your classes, it says make your whole face visible. But for orchestra class, I'm going to need to see you and your instrument. So if you notice, I'm going to be playing today in class. So I'm not sitting at my desk. I mean, hopefully you can tell that I'm standing up. I know I'm short, but hopefully you can tell that I'm standing up. Use the microphone settings in Google Classroom. This class, there's only maybe 22, 24 kids. So we still need to stay muted because it's still big enough that if we were all talking, then it gets kind of crazy. It is weird because you guys are so quiet, but while we're doing that. And then they're asking everybody to use virtual backgrounds. So before you panic about that, I know that the Chromebooks have problems with the virtual backgrounds. And then some people are learning how to do stuff. So if you don't have one today, it's not the end of the world. If you notice, I don't have a virtual background. And it's because when I start playing or when I move around, that background looks funny on the screen. But what I have done is I have kind of set up the behind my own, like in real life background. You know, I've got the flag back there. You can see the whiteboard. My instruments are laid out. So there's nothing mysterious or random that's going to walk in behind me. So you can set up your background like I have, or you can use one of these 4 logos. The orchestra logo's there, the building, the picture of the building. Somebody was using that. Who is that? Adriana's got the building in the background. Yeah, I love that thing. And then, of course, there's the generic ones of the Union flag and the WC whiteboard. And those are also, we'll show you where you can find those if you don't have them already. All right, Mr. Norton, if you'll keep going up for me. Of course, you got to be on time. Hey, you got to be dressed in these Zoom meetings. last spring, kids would show up in their pajamas or swimsuits or kind of random stuff like that. I don't, you probably can't tell, but Mr. T is wearing a suit. Mr. Norton's got his suit and tie on. So we need to dress just like we would if we were going to school. Be mindful of what's behind you in the Zoom. You know, make sure there's not like a random dog or something running around in the back. And then the last part are distractions. Try to stay off your phone if you can while we're doing this. You're going to need a music stand, not a pillow on your bed where you're propping your music up, but you're going to need a real live music stand. If you don't have one, you can come get one from me and Mr. Norton. One of those wire folding stands. We can check one of those out to you. That way you don't have to use your bed. All right, Mr. Norton. We're going to push out the next form. So this next Google form that Mr. Norton's going to stick in the chat. Let's see, how do we do? Oh, Lucy's got her viola up. Dylan's got his violin up. Very, very good. Janae, do you know how to change your name, kiddo? So it has your instrument on there. Let's see, who else? Sergio, Deva, Gabriel, Adrian, we need you to share your videos. That way we can get everybody counted here. Alexander, your name's pretty long, so it's not showing up the instrument. Do you go by Alex or Alexander?
I actually go by Max.
Oh, all right, Max, very cool. So once I get better with attendance, we may just leave off the Alexander and leave Max on there. Is that okay? Cool. All right. Here we go. Oh, look, Gabe. Man, Gabe, I've got hair envy. Yeah. Got hair envy, no doubt. All right. So we're just waiting on Sergio to get it done. All right. So, Mr. Norton, are you ready to send that form out?
Yes, sir.
So this next form, this next Google Doc is a WCO. It's the Winston Churchill Orchestra student information form. So this is just real generic stuff. It'll have like your email address, your birthday, your phone number. If you could go ahead and fill this out right now, please, guys. It won't take but a minute.
And I can't type. There we are. There you go, guys. It's in the chat.
All right, so you click on that link. It takes you to just a Google form. It should only take a couple of minutes. Mr. Norton, go ahead and send out that instrument form too.
Sure.
While you guys are filling out this student information form, if you need a Churchill instrument and you didn't come get one last week, you can fill out this Google form today and Mr. Norton will get one set up. That way you can swing by the school and pick it up. So he's going to put out a secondary form and it'll be like WCO instrument pickup or that kind of thing. There you go. So I'll just use this to see how long it takes us to get this form filled out. Mr. Norton, we're up to 21. That's pretty good. I mean, that only means just a handful of guys couldn't get up this morning. Max, are you messing with that virtual background stuff?
This is how it works for me.
Yeah, it looks kind of weird, huh? Kyla's is nice though. Look, hers is all like professional looking. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go on. You can leave that. You can keep filling that out, Mr. Norton. If you'll share the teacher website screen.
Yes, sir.
Orchestra, when all else fails, this website is where all the most accurate information is. So the top thing is a Zoom link. I'm not so sure we're going to change our Zoom link. Other teachers might, but we're probably going to keep our link the same for as long as we're doing this stuff. And then as you scroll down, like this morning, Launchpad had a problem. So that is the workaround to fix Launchpad. The next thing says Google Classroom help. Google Classroom didn't work this morning when we first got here. So that's the workaround to that. A lot of the links there are up to date and accurate. If you need a virtual background, there's the virtual backgrounds. Underneath that is that thing, if you need an instrument, click here and that'll help Mr. Norton get you ready to go. What we're going to look at today is if you look at the menu on the left-hand side of your screen where it says Orchestra Class Periods, you're going to click there. And it just tells you a little bit about what's there. And we have it organized by class period. So Mr. Norton's going to click second period. And there's our Google class link again. Our Zoom class link. And then, of course, then the Google Classroom. And then your Remind. Guys, if you go ahead and click on that Remind link, hopefully you're kind of following along. I need everybody to sign up for these Remind messages. This isn't anything new. I'm pretty sure all of the middle schools are using Remind as well. So if you could sign up for that now, that would be fantastic. And you can back out of that, Mr. Norton. If it's not working for you, let me know in the chat. Maybe we can help you out. That link should have the Remind code there. Mr. Norton, will you click where it says text reminders to your left? There you go. So if that link's not working, then there's the actual code. Hopefully you see where it says @DKA3GG. That's the actual code for the second period Remind. Oh, I need to fix that leadership team link. It's all goofy looking.
Where is this at?
This is on my teacher website.
Oh, okay.
But right now we're just signing up. You can use your phone if you already have the Remind app. Or you can go to my teacher website. The easiest way to find my teacher website is to go to whatever you use to search, right? I'm a Google guy. So, and I type in Thibodaux, neisd.net, and it takes me to my teacher website every time. There's not very many Thibodauxs teaching orchestra. All right, Mr. Norton, if you'll go back to that class page. The next couple of things we're not going to do in class today, but I do need you to get them completed this week. That's a link to the next thing down says Flipgrid. Flipgrid is how you're going to submit some of your playing tests to me and Mr. Norton. It's a pretty simple thing. It's kind of, it's a little, almost too simple. It's almost like an elementary kind of thing, but it's easy enough that you just make a recording and you hit send and it sends it to Mr. Norton and I. And it's pretty easy for us to send feedback, both written and verbal feedback. So sometime this week, if you could join Flipgrid, if you have a problem, you let us know. The next thing is Smart Music, and that's your classroom code for Smart Music. Smart Music is a website. Some of your more official chair test will be on the Smart Music app. Smart Music inside of that program has a tuner, a metronome. As you play through your assignment, it'll give you a grade. So it's a good thing for you to practice with. As you play along with it, if it turns red, then you're like, oh no, I played some wrong notes. If it turns green, then you're like, woohoo, I played all the right notes. So that'll be a good thing for you guys to keep an eye on. Make sure you join and you join our classroom. Oh, this page is missing a link. So if you click on the next thing, it says announcements. Oh, it's not opening. Oh, there it goes. This is nothing more than a YouTube playlist from Mr. Thibodeau's website. Instead of sending out a bunch of emails, we make YouTube videos and then we send the YouTube videos out. So that link is there in case you miss something, and they go all the way back to when all this virtual stuff started. And there's one from last Monday. So there's quite a few. All right, Mr. Norman, we can go back to the normal website. All righty. Now, the next thing, are there any questions about what you need to do so far, guys? If there are, throw it in the chat. All right, so we're going to move on to the Google Classroom is next, guys. Mr. Norton, if you could share that screen. And then students, if you could also be looking at your Google Classroom at the same time we are, that might help make things, things might make a little bit more sense to you. All right, so when it's kind of hard to tell if everybody's there. If you're not there, then go ahead and feel free to unmute yourself and be like, Mr. T, I don't understand. And we'll get you fixed up. Or send me a thing in the chat and we'll double check it. All right, so the first thing is the stream. On the stream, we put up like announcements and generic information. So as you scroll through that, of course, there's the intro letter that was emailed out. And then, in the beginning of the year, there's always a bunch of forms to fill out. So that next stream thing is about the forms that you need to fill out, how to turn them in, all that kind of good stuff. If you keep going down, these are our unison exercises. You can either print these off or read them off of your device. Some of you guys are pretty savvy with your iPads, and you can just read off of your iPad and you know how to mark the music on your iPad. But you will need these unison exercises. If you'll keep scrolling down, Mr. Norton. Okay, we'll talk about tuning in a minute, but if you need help tuning your instrument, these are 3 YouTube tutorials made by 3 orchestra directors in Northeast. Just kind of generically, hey, this is some good ideas about how you should tune your instrument. We'll keep going, Mr. Norton. The Metesky Etude. Again, you'll need to either print this or read it off of your device. Either way, it doesn't make me any difference as long as you can see the music. Then we'll go down one more time. And those are our scales and warm-ups. Will you click on one, Mr. Norton? Alexander, give me 1 second and I'll type the code in the chat. Sorry, Max, that should be the code. Let me know if that works or if it doesn't work, okay? So this is a little bit about what we're going to do today. Sorry, I got a little off topic. All right, Mr. Norton, you can go back to that main Google Classroom page.
Oops. Went too far. There it goes.
So those are things that you need out of the stream. If you go to classwork, the first topic in the classwork is attendance. So if something happens and you have to do orchestra at 8 in the morning instead of at 11, that's where you're going to go to take your attendance if it doesn't get pushed out through the chat during class. So that's an important thing to know. The next link down is, or topic is performance assignments. Performance assignment, that's nothing more than a chair test or a playing test. So you can tell your next playing test is next week and it's over scales. That'll be a flip grid assignment. So Mr. Norton, can you click on it just so they can kind of see? Look, it says flip grid submission. And then there's also the PDFs again, if you needed to find those. Can you go ahead and close that out? The next list is a composition assignment. Your first composition assignment is very easy. You're going to write out 8 measures of a melody for your instrument. Pretty much with very little requirements. It's going to have to be in the key of G, C, or D, using eighth notes and quarter notes, that kind of stuff. All right, and then the last thing is a listening assignment. You do have a listening assignment every single week. It's not hard at all. You're going to click on that link. And there's a YouTube video. You'll look, it even tells you how long it is. So you're going to watch that video. It's 6 minutes long, so that's not very long. And then you'll click on the form and you'll fill out the form. This particular assignment, I believe the question is, there is something unique about this orchestra. Please tell me if you can figure out what it is. So after watching the link, maybe you'll be able to notice there's not really a right or a wrong answer. But we can kind of tell who watched and who didn't by how they answered that question. All righty, Mr. Norton, I think that is good for the Google Classrooms. All right, did that work for everybody? Max, did that link, did that work?
Yes, it did.
Awesome, very cool. All right, Mr. Norton, if you'll stop sharing, then I will take over for now.
All right.
All righty. Are we going too fast, too slow? It's so weird not being in person, right? Lucy looks so excited. It's okay. We're all gonna get a hang of this stuff. All right. So now you guys should see my tuner. Mr. Norton, how does it look?
That's good.
Okay. I think this is going to be our most challenging part of this online stuff, is having to tune every day. The tuner that Mr. T uses on his phone, that's Tonal Energy. So just a little bit, I'll play. The numbers that come up on the top or the bottom, that tells you how sharp or how flat I am. So I'm 5 or 6 cents sharp. I need to bring the pitch lower. In order to do this without breaking a string, I have to lower the note with my, I don't have fine tuners, so I'm going to lower it with my peg.
You're going static for some reason, sir.
Uh-oh. Is that better?
Yes, sir.
That better? Yeah, maybe that mic was too hot. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to stop that stuff. Maybe. All right. Hey, Vincent, what kind of tuning app do you have? Go ahead and unmute yourself. It's okay. Vincent, I can't hear you, brother. All right, I'm not so sure your mic's working. Adriana, what kind of tuning app do you have?
Wait, let me put it out. God. Sound corset tuner.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Does it have a metronome as well?
Yep.
Awesome. Isaiah, what about you, man?
What?
What kind of tuner do you have on your phone?
It's called Tuner Lite.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Is there a metronome on it as well?
No.
Oh, okay. So you're going to have to find another one that has the metronome too. Okay. Christian, what about you, man? Are you all set up?
I have tonal energy.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right. Let's see. And I think, Devon, what about you? What kind of tuner do you have? Do you have one yet or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. So we'll have to pick one up. It doesn't have to be tonal energy. It just has to be a tuner. Let's see. Who's the next one? Kelly?
I have tonal energy.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All righty. Tia. Did I say it wrong?
I have total energy.
Okay, very cool. All right, Lucy. Oh, sorry. Lucy Cello. What kind of tuning app do you have, kiddo? Can you speak for me so I can check that microphone? Oh, she doesn't have a microphone. Uh-oh. All right, so Lucy Cello and Vincent, we got to work on that mic. All right, Dylan, wait, yeah, have we done Dylan? Dylan, what kind of mic, what kind of tuner do you have?
I use tonal energy.
All right, hey, Dylan, when it does come time to play in class, you'll need to turn that ceiling fan off, okay? Because it distorts the sound and it'll mess with your tuner. All right, Lucy the viola.
I have tonal energy.
All right, cool. All right, Janae?
I don't have a tuner app, but I have like one in person.
Oh, yeah, like what we used to use in class, right? The chord things? Most excellent. All right, what about a metronome?
Oh yeah, I have a metronome on there.
Okay, cool. Gabriel? Do you go by Gabe or Gabriel?
Either way.
Okay, can I call you Hair?
Sure. Sounds good.
All right, man. What kind of app do you have?
I'm going to get tonal energy.
Okay, all right. No worries. I see Sergio. What do you got?
I don't currently have one yet.
Okay, all right. If you need help finding one, let me know, man.
Okay.
Maximus.
I have one of those things too, like the little metronome tuner things.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right, Deva? Or did I say it right?
You said it right. I don't have one yet.
Okay. All right. You're going to get one, though. Let's see. Next is Rebecca.
My tuning app's called Tuning App.
Oh, all right. That's original. All right. Very cool. Let's see. Mariana.
I don't have one yet.
Okay. All right. We're going to find one, right? Let's see. Who else is there? Oh, Kyla. Kayla? I must be saying it wrong because she's not responding.
I have tonal energy.
All right. How do you say your name?
Kyla.
Kyla. Okay. All right. And then Adrian. Adrian.
Yes.
What kind of app do you have? Hello.
Simply Tuner.
All right. Is your video broken? All right. Okay, so what I need you guys, oh, there you go. What I want you to do now is to get your instruments out. If you don't have them out, get them out, and let's run them through the tuner, okay? Just give it a try. It'll be all right. If you don't have your instrument yet, you'll be okay today. You just need to make sure you get with Mr. Norton so you can schedule a pickup time.
Do we need our bow too?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We're going to do the whole 9 yards. Once you get your instrument out, go ahead and start tuning. And then once we think everybody's kind of tuned close enough, then we're going to start with our scales. So right now you're getting your instrument out, you're tuning. And once you get that done, then you're going to go either into the Google Classroom and open up the document that has your scales, or if you already printed them out ahead of time, that's great too. Remember to always go flat and then bring the note up. You're less likely to break a string that way, okay? Hey, Deva, go ahead and ask your question. I don't understand. You can unmute yourself. It's okay.
Do I use Smart Music?
For a tuner?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can open up Smart Music and use it as a tuner. But right now, if you're looking for the actual music, the music is on the Google Classroom. Yeah, all right, very cool. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna play through the scales a little bit. I'm going to start with the half note part of the D major scale. Here in a minute, I'll turn the metronome on, and hopefully at home, you'll be able to hear the metronome, and then I'll count us off, and then I'll start playing. So right now, on your computer, all you're gonna hear is me and the metronome play, and then I'm kind of watching the screen to make sure our bows are moving at the same time, to kind of see who looks lost or who might need a little help here and there. I think we know that we can't all play at the same time on Zoom because it sounds really bad. So we have to do it individually. So we'll play through it a couple times, and then I'll call on one of you guys to play, and we'll see how this works. This is going to kind of be how we do classes. Eventually, we'll go into those breakout rooms. So we'll send all the violin players to a room, or all the cello players to a room, or all the bass players, or that kind of stuff, okay? All right, so here we go. Mr. Norton, if you could help me out, let me know if I need to turn something up or down.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to pull back my A string to tighten it with the pegs, but it keeps going back. Like I pull it back and then it just goes back forward.
Okay, so it's loose and you're trying to tighten it, correct?
Yeah, but it keeps getting loose again.
Okay, so as you tighten your peg, push into the peg box. Does that make sense to you, Adrian?
Oh, now it works. Now it works. Thank you.
Excellent. Great job, man. We're going to do this. It's going to be hard, guys, but we're going to get this figured out. All right, so here's this scale. Hopefully you guys can hear the metronome. All right. Looks like most of us are ready. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a little break. So it's kind of weird, right? Yeah, weird. I think if you can hear the metronome and you can hear me playing, think about playing along with me. Don't try to line up with what you see on your screen. I believe the word is called latency, and it messes with like what our eye sees and what the actual video is playing and that kind of stuff. Let's try it one more time. Same kind of deal. It's still going to be the half note scale. Everybody, are we all doing okay? We got like a thumbs up. Life is good. All right. Thanks, Lucy Viola. All right. Kyla, are you okay? Looks like, oh, she's not crying, right? Okay. All right. Gonna make sure everybody, there's no tears in orchestra.
I'm fine.
Okay. All right. So here we go. We're going to do this whole
No,
thing.
it was my brother.
Oh, your brother? There's always little guys running around. Here we go. Same thing, scale from the beginning. This is a D major with the half notes. You guys are doing a great job. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. So now here comes the brave part. Max, I'm going to ask you to play a little bit for me. I'm not judging. We're just seeing how the technology is going to work. And are you comfortable with that, my friend?
Yes.
All right, Max. Maximus, Commanders of the Legions of the North. Sorry, that's a Gladiator quote. It's a movie thing.
All good.
Let's hear what you got, Max. All right, yay, Max. Did everybody get to hear Max? Yay, Max didn't die. Good job. All right, let's do that scale all together one more time. Same thing with the half notes from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. So orchestra, your first playing test is going to be one of these scales. And you'll have your metronome going and you'll make a little recording and you'll submit it on Flipgrid. And I'm not a real big guy about grades. Like a number doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I'm much more interested in seeing that we're all playing the right notes, we're using the right bow hand, I'm more interested that we're doing it right than I am, oh, I got a 99. So our playing test, the grades aren't super important. It's the comments and the feedback that tend to be important. All right, the next thing, how are we doing? Will you go to your, either the etude that you've printed out, or if you, in that Google Classroom, you can go to the etude listed there. And it's in the stream on the Google Classroom. I'm gonna open up one. Hopefully you guys can see. I may just leave this up for now. Is that okay with everybody? So you can kind of see the, sorry, it doesn't really help the cello players any or the viola players, but the violin players, if you don't have your music, then that's what we're looking for. If you look on the left-hand side of the screen on the top, it tells you that a quarter note equals 80. So that's the number that you would type in for your metronome. What we're gonna practice at today is 60. It's a lot slower. Everybody kind of, can you give me a thumbs up if it's working? You can kind of hear it? Hear the metronome at least? All right, thanks. All right, so when we do this one, I'll go 1, 2, 3. So let's give this a try. Did that give everybody enough time to get the etude out? Or if you're going to read it off of your screen, that's fine with me. That's what's so weird about this online stuff. I can't tell when everybody's ready or not ready or. Okay, Kyla gave us a big thumbs up. All right, so here we go. We're going to try it as it's written with the slurs the first time, okay? Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And all I did was the first line, okay? Let's try it again, but I'm gonna do it without the slurs, so it sounds. It'll sound that way, okay? So we're not gonna do the slurs this time. Ready? Same thing, just line 1. 1, 2, 3. This etude will be our second listening, or our second playing assignment. So we'll work on this etude a little bit every day, just like we will with our scales. Is anybody brave enough to give it a try for us? Just the first line. With the slurs or without the slurs. It doesn't matter. One of our Lucy's? No, nobody? Lucy Viola? No? Kyla, are you brave? No, nobody's brave?
I'll do it.
Oh, there we go. Yay. Go Viola. Hey, Lucy, there are two types of people in the world. Do you know that? There are viola players and people that wish they were viola players. Ah! Christian's like, what? All right, go ahead, Lucy. You got it. You only had to do the first line. Yay for Lucy. All right. So I know this is not the most ideal way to do orchestra class, but until we can be back in the building, this is how we're going to do class. So some reminders. Well, we'll just talk. You need to make sure that you've signed up for the Remind 101 codes. You need to make sure that you've joined the Google Classroom. And then there's the Flipgrid and the Smart Music apps. You'll need to make sure that you're in those classrooms. Some type of tuning app. Doesn't matter what kind to me, but you do need a tuner and a metronome. Because when I ask you to play, I'm going to need to hear your metronome going, okay? When it comes for music, I obviously can't hand you a packet. So you need to make sure that you can either print this stuff off or have access on your iPads to the scales that we played today. I skipped the unison exercises, but you still need those. We'll do those every day. And then the Metesky etude. All of that you can find in the stream on your Google Classroom. Kind of get a thumbs up. Yay, we understand. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Yes. And if you don't have an instrument today, make sure you fill out that form and you contact Mr. Norton so he can get you hooked up with an instrument. We're going to save these last 2 or 3 minutes. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or something they need help with? Alexander, Max, go ahead and talk, man.
So I know that this is a while away, but do you know anything about Region?
I do know about Region. I hope that the music will be published by September 1st. That's my goal, is to have all the music out. And it will be done on an app called Music First. So like right now, we're learning an etude that's in the key of D major. We're going to learn that etude until September 1st, and then we'll swap to whatever that Region etude is, and we'll all learn the etude together. And then they'll pick a scale and another etude, more than likely. So we'll learn that stuff in class, and that Region audition is going to count as our fall concert. Because at this point, I'm not so sure they're going to let us have that fall concert. But that's Region music, and you'll record it on your phone or with your laptop, iPad, that kind of stuff from your house. Guys, and when it comes to this kind of stuff, you just got to know that it changes daily. You know, yesterday they say one thing, tomorrow they'll change, you know. So if they decide, oh, hey, we can go back to school, then I've got a very nice microphone set up, and we can make our recordings here at school for your Region auditions. Okay, that's a good question, Max. Anybody else? No, everybody's perfect. Everybody knows what's going on. You guys know what lunch you have? Let's see.
I got sea lunch.
Oh, hey, very cool. I have sea lunch too. Advisory. I don't think we have advisories. I think we probably all have sea lunch, would be my guess, right? Because A lunch has already gone by, and B lunch would have been in the middle of this class. So I think we're all probably going to sea lunch. Does that sound about right to you people? Lucy Cello, do you have sea lunch? It's so quiet. Adriana, what about you? Do you have sea lunch? All right, very cool. Do you guys understand? I hope you understand your homework. Janae, I like your background. if you don't understand your homework, Mr. Norton and I will stay on for the next couple of minutes so you can talk individually with us and we'll get you fixed up. Guys, I'm glad you're here. I know this is not exactly how we do freshman stuff, but I'm very grateful that you showed up to class this morning. If you have questions, let me know. Oh, I got to put my email.
I have another question.
Go for it, Max.
Oh, so you said that we're gonna have to write a piece of music or a couple bars for one of our homework assignments, right?
Yep.
Do you want us to use like a music writing software, or do you want us to do it by hand?
You're going to use a piece of software. If you don't have like a software already, then you're going to use something called Noteflight. And there's YouTube videos inside of the assignment on Google that shows you how to create a Noteflight. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It's a free program that just lets you write music, and it looks very pretty, like what you would normally have instead of it being handwritten and kind of messy. All right. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, then we're going to call it a day, and we'll see you on Wednesday. If you do have questions, I'm going to pull up my chair, and feel free to unmute yourself and start asking away. I'm glad y'all came to class today.
Oh, what's the homework again?
Devon, am I saying your name right?
It's Davion.
Davion, cool, man. Hey, you'll need to, let's see if I can share. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is my teacher website. To start with, you'll need to make sure that you're in the right Google Classroom. That's where you're going to get your assignments, and that's also where you're going to get your music. The next thing we need to make sure you're signed up for is this Remind. Remind is how I send out text messages and reminders about upcoming events. Flipgrid is another piece of software we're going to use throughout the year. And we even use Flipgrid when we're having normal class period. Flipgrid allows you to take a video of yourself playing your cello, and you'll submit it to Mr. T or Mr. Norton. And then we can give feedback based on the video. The next thing is our Smart Music. Both of these are active links, so you can click on it, it'll take you to their websites. Smart Music is another free piece of software. The school district pays for it. And what it does is it allows us to practice, and the computer gives us a grade and tells us where we need to improve. So when you're playing along with this, the music will be on the screen and you'll hit play. If the note turns red, then we need to fix it. If the note turns green, then that means we did it correctly. So those are the things that you'll need to make sure that you signed up for. And then the other thing we'll need to do is I'm swapping over. This is now the Google Classroom. Yours probably looks different, but this is the teacher version of the Google Classroom. And on the stream, I posted the music that we need to have printed. So this says you will need these unison exercises for class. And they're divided by instrument. So you're a cello player, so we'll need the cello part. So not everybody has access to a printer. So you don't have to print it, but you need to have save the PDF on your laptop or your iPad so that you can write on it if need be. Certainly so that you can play along. The next thing is these etudes, these Metesky etudes, the same thing for the cello one. So you'll need to grab that, either save it on your desktop or print it. And then the last thing that you'll need to print are the scales for the cello. Again, you don't have to print it out. You just need to have it available so that you can play during class. And we also need to chit chat about, we'll do some one-on-one lessons to kind of get you caught up, to go over the cello stuff, some cello things. You and I can do that. You're going to send me a text message when your time works that way.
Okay.
We can talk kind of privately about make sure your cello is set up, and you'll have to come pick one up for Mr. Norton. Do you have a cello already at home?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna help you out. It's probably a little overwhelming today, starting a new instrument and having to do it online. But we'll get you caught up. You'll be just fine. Does that help a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. I look forward to your email, and we'll meet. I'm going to call it in person, but whatever. We'll meet just you and I on Zoom. Good stuff. Good questions. Anybody else? Vincent, do you want to try your microphone again? See if it started working? Mr. Norton, are you hearing him?
Hello.
Oh, there you go, Vincent. That works.
It works.
Yeah, I hear you now. I just couldn't hear you before, but that's good.
I think it's because I didn't have it on the right speaker setting.
Oh, no, well, yeah, we're all learning. I got a new microphone yesterday, so kind of learning our way too. Very cool. All right. Anybody else? Lucy, your setup looks good. Lucy Cello, your setup looks good back there, kiddo. Plenty of room to play your cello. Most excellent. Most excellent. All right. All right, you guys don't have to wait until 12:10. We're done. If y'all have any questions, let me know. But this is our lunchtime, so Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever kind of lunch you're gonna have. I've got PB&J myself. It's very sophisticated.
Leftovers.
There you go. Yeah, Mr. Norton, your mic sounds good too today.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you if you heard me first period, if you heard me playing the cello.
Yeah, his mic sounds pretty good, right, kids?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah. We're trying to be sophisticated.
Work in progress.
All right. Well, I'm going to mute everything, and I'm going to go eat my PB&J. You guys are welcome to log off. And I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Thanks for being here today, guys.
Bye, guys.